Everybody, thank you for watching my third video of my semester in Cologne, Germany. The topic of this week's video is my classes and my host family, excuse me. But before I get into that, I'll give you a rundown of last week and some of the things that I experienced. The new food that I tried was pineapple cheese. I'm not still too sure if it was like imitation or how that's made, but it was good. I don't know if I would go out of my way to buy it or try it again, but I didn't mind it. The new word for this week is Flüchtling. It's der Flüchtling. And the reason that that's the word is because, it means refugee. And the reason that that's the word is because there's a refugee crisis in Europe, which I hope you know. And it's what we talk about, not all the time, but a lot. And so it's an important word that I had to learn and pick up on if I want to contribute to any conversation about that. And then an interesting or funny experience this week was when I went to the museum with my art history class. The professor was the tour guide, and so he was giving the tour. He was very knowledgeable. It was really interesting, a pretty big museum, which I'll get into later. And so we were at this glass cabinet with like 2,000-year-old artifacts from these graves from these Roman women, and that's because Rome occupied Cologne for 500 years, which is why the museum's there. And so we're looking at these artifacts. I want to get a closer look. I forget what I was looking at. And the reason I forget is because I slammed my face off the glass when I leaned in, and I guess just my depth perception was off, and I slammed my face in the glass, and it was mildly embarrassing. But to make it even more embarrassing, then dust started to fall on the 2,000-year-old artifacts, and my tour guide decided at that point that it was time to move on, so I'm glad we did. But it was a really cool museum. And so just a quick rundown of last week was on Tuesday. I had my placement exam, and so this exam just puts you in a class, or gives you a grade that puts you in a class with students who are also of the same level of German that you are, and these are obviously non-native speakers as well. And that was on Tuesday. The test was not necessarily, I wouldn't know if I would call it difficult, or I guess it was difficult, but it was definitely strange in that how it was set up. There's 5 paragraphs for the writing part. This was only the writing part, and all the words were cut in half, and you just had to fill in the other half of the word. I don't know why that tests language skills, but I guess it does. And then on Thursday, on Wednesday, I went back to Mundo Lingo, which was the language exchange program at that bar lounge, and it was, once again, I really liked it. I plan on going back again, and I got to speak with some more Germans. And then on Thursday, that's when I went with my group, my art history class, to the Roman German Museum. And here's a picture of the glass that they had there, and it doesn't seem like it's that impressive, but this is apparently the largest glass collection from Roman times in all the world. And it was amazing what they could do with glass 2,000 years ago, and some of the techniques they don't even understand today. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And then on Saturday, I went to here is my ticket to the museum, which I guess isn't that important, but I didn't want to forget the name. It's the Römisch-Germanisches Museum. And then my other ticket was when we went to the Augsburg Schloss in Brühl, which is about 10 minutes away from me. And this was, the translation to English is a castle, but I thought it was more of a palace. And it's really beautiful. Here's a picture of the gardens. And it's a pretty big palace, I guess, as far as palaces go. And I thought it was pretty frivolous, but it was really cool to get a tour of it and just to see how they set up their rooms. And it was just amazing how much empty space they had that they just didn't really use it for too much. And then the topic for this week are my classes. And before I talk about that, I also got to see some friends, some international friends that I met at W&J, and one of them was by accident, which is hard to believe in a city of almost 1 million people that you run into somebody by accident. But I was planning on meeting up with a German friend, and it was Friday night, and I got on the train, and there she was. So, hi Sabrina, if you're watching this. But it was crazy just to see her randomly when we haven't met yet. met up yet while I'm here. And on Friday night and Saturday night, I went and visited my friend Mercedes, who's from Spain, and she's currently going to a city in Germany, so we were able to catch up, which was pretty cool. And so back to the topics for this week are my classes and my host family. A lot of my classes are focused around my program, PCIC, which I mentioned in my first video in my last one. And so my main my main course for the past 2 weeks was my German course. And this is taught by a professor from W&J, my college. And each year, PCIC, there's 3 colleges, and each year a college takes a turn studying professor. And this year's W&J's term. And so in that class, we do German grammar, and we also learn about German culture, and I guess a little bit of German history, but more German culture. And then, well, I guess history and culture go hand in hand, so yeah, both, I guess. And then I also have my art history, Kunstgeschichte auf Deutsch in German, and politics. The art history I didn't think I would like too much, but it actually turns out to be pretty interesting. It's the first art I've had at the college level, and I think I like it more because it's from a historical perspective and you understand the historical influences in the art. And then I also have a politics class, a German politics, and I think I'm going to like this class just so I understand better how the German government's set up. And like I said before, the refugee crisis is going on right now in Europe, so it's an interesting time to have this course, as well as the 25th anniversary of the German reunification between the East and West. So definitely a good semester to be here. And then another course is the one that's not with PCIC, it's the university, and it's based on my placement test that I took last week. And so it puts me in a course with people from all over the world who speak at a similar level of German that I do. And today's Monday. And the reason I didn't make a video yesterday was because I was sick. I'm still a little sick, so excuse me for being late. But today I had my first class of that German placement course, and it was really cool. I'm excited for it. I'm in a class with students from Spain, France, Italy, Australia, Ireland, Turkey, Iran, Central African Republic, Senegal, other Americans, and I hope I'm not missing any countries, and if I do, I'm sorry for the people watching, but I don't think any of them will, so it's okay. But, yeah, that class I like a lot. I think I'm going to learn a lot, or at least just polish my German skills. And then the other topic for this week is my host family, which people have been asking about. And I really like my host family just for privacy reasons. I'm not going to do too much details about them. But I live in a suburb south of Cologne. It's about 20 minutes by the U-Bahn or S-Bahn. I always get them confused. It's the public transportation system. So I go by train every day. And I really like my host family. They're very friendly. We get along very well, which doesn't... I'm more enthusiastic than that, but it's hard to talk about, just like I said, for privacy reasons. But each morning I eat breakfast with my host father, and at dinner I eat breakfast with both my host parents, and it's really cool just to talk to them about their perspective on America and my perspective on Germany, and just talking about the differences like I did in my last video. And I guess I could also see myself living in a student housing, but I think I prefer the living with a family, because with student housing I can still meet students even though I'm not in any course with any German students. I can still go to Mundolingo and go out on the weekends and meet German students, but I think family is a big part of culture, so living in a German family for a semester really gives me a part of that culture that I didn't want to miss out on. And then I also live with 2 other Americans. They're my host brothers, Thomas and John, and it's good and bad to live with them. It's good because I live with them because I like them and we get along and we help each other with German. But it's almost bad because I'm more likely to slip into English. But I think it's working out well. We try to speak German as much as we can. And I think that's all for this week. Yeah. Oh, well, more on the German. I thought of more. It's hard to compare the German and American family structure, because I think families are all different, but they also put a big emphasis on family, and yeah, I guess, so that's actually now the end of my video. Maybe I'll talk about my host family more later on. But thank you for watching. I'll make sure to put out another video next week, and I'll see you then. Auf Wiedersehen.